So part B, they're going to give us straight equations. The pouches and coins aren't there this time, but we're going to just go straight into the equation form and see what we can do to remember without seeing that. Now, if we need to go back and redraw those pouches and coins, we can do that. Let's see if we can do it without having to do that here in this case.
All right, so part B, for each equation, use your strategies from question A to solve each equation. Check your answer. We've got these four here. So let's take a look. All right, let's take a look here what we got. So first things first, we've got 30 is equal to 6 plus 4x. Make sure I wrote that down right. Yep, okay. Now, at this point, imagine 30 coins, 6 coins, and 4 pouches. Now, there's no pouches to remove. So what we did before is we removed the coins from both sides. And so in this case here, we're gonna do that same exact work here. So remember, we're gonna take and remove the small amount from both sides. So in this case, I would do -6 and -6. This is gonna be gone. 30 minus 6, well, I need to borrow here. It's gonna be 4 and 2, and that brings down that 4x. So if you recall, our other step, once we got here, we figured there are 4 pouches and 24 coins. We ended up doing a division problem. We did 24 divided by 4, so divide by 4 on both sides. This is going to be a 1x, and then 24 divided by 4 is 6. Now, that is fast. Let's check it to make sure. So I'm going to put this 6 in there. So if I have here 30 is equal to 6 plus 4 times 6. Interesting, look at that. We actually have that number right here. Do you see that? We actually have that number here. So you can begin to see if you're doing it right, you're going to see some of the answers to your work in the middle of the work over here. So I know I've got 30 is equal to 6 plus 4 times 6 is 24. And that means 30 equals 30, and that checks. All right, here we go. Number 2. 7x equals 5 plus 5x. Now in this case, remember this would be symbolic of 7 pouches. This would be 5 coins, and this would be 5 pouches. So we don't have any coins to move, but we do have pouches to move. So now what we're going to do, remember the lower number we take from both sides, so minus 5x and minus 5x. This would be gone. 7x minus 5x is going to be 2x. Remember, like it was going to be 7 xylophones, take away 5 xylophones, we'd still have 2 xylophones. Or if it was 7 pouches, we crossed out 5, we still would have 2 pouches left. Bring down the 5. Hey, this is an interesting one. I don't know about you, but I don't see this ending up nice and neat. Is that okay that we have decimals as answers? It totally is, and you will. So we're gonna get used to that. So I'm gonna divide by 2 here, divide by 2 here. This is gonna be a 1x, and I'm gonna have 5 divided by 2. Now if I do 5 divided by 2, it's gonna go in 2 times. So 2 to 10 is going to be 2.5. So x equals 2.5. That's kind of a tricky one to work with, but that's okay. Now we couldn't actually have this in the situation for coins, so we can't have half coins in there, but we're going to be working with this in this case. So we do have a 2.5. So let's test this here. So I'm going to do 7 times 2.5 is equal to 5 plus 5 times 2.5. All right, so now let's take a look at what we have here. So I have 2.5 times 7, which is going to give me a 35. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 2 is 17. So that equals 17.5. Then I bring down my plus 5, and then I do 2.5 times 5 here. It's going to be 25. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is going to be 12. I got that. So I've got 7.5 equals 5 plus 2.5. Well, 12 plus 5 is going to give me 17, so this does check. 17.5 equals 17.5, and that checks. All right, number 3. Here we go. I've got 7x plus 2 equals 12 plus 5x. Make sure I wrote that down right. All right. Okay, so now we got pouches and coins on both sides. It doesn't really matter which one we work with first, if it's a pouch or a coin, but we want to make sure that we're remembering one key thing that I have not talked a ton about. We want to remember there are two sides to this equal sign, and we have to do something to both sides of that equal sign. If we do it just to one side, it won't be equal, like a teeter-totter. So we want to make sure that we're going to be fair to both sides. So whatever the smaller amount is, we remove that one from both sides. So 7 pouches is more than 5 pouches. So I'm going to remove the 5 pouches from both sides. This will be gone. And again, 7 pouches minus 5 pouches is going to give me 2 pouches. We bring down the 2 and the equal sign and the 12. So now I'm going to have here, this is going to come in. I'm going to do the 2 coins and the 12 coins. So I'm going to do minus 2 here and minus 2 here. This will be gone. So I got my 2x left over equals 12 minus 2 is 10. This is a nice warm fuzzy. So we got this one here. Divide both sides by 2. I'm going to have x is equal to 5. All right, so let's check that to make sure we're right. So 7 times 5 plus 2 is equal to 12 plus 5 times 5. 7 times 5 is 35 plus 2, which is going to be 37. Okay, and then 12 plus 25. Let's see if that works. So 5 plus 2 is 7, and 2 plus 1 is going to be 3. Yep, that checks. All right, question number 4. Now this one already has this factored form going on. We've got multiple ways that we can approach this. So first of all, I'm going to do it in a way that I've been currently showing the 8th graders to make sure we can simplify and do the work there. And then we can also look at another approach as well. And you can do whichever one you like best. So the opposite of what we were doing earlier, where we were dividing things out by 2, is something called the distributive property, where we would multiply that 2 through. So 2 times x would give me 2x, put our plus sign, and then 2 times 4 would give us an 8 is equal to 16. And we can solve this here. So now I've got 2x plus 8 equals 16. Got my 2 pouches, got my coins. I'm going to subtract 8 on both sides. This is going to cancel. 2x is equal to 16 minus 8 is going to be 8. Divide by 2, x would equal 4. Now that's one approach. Another approach could be this one, and this one might look a little bit more confusing, but we're going to show you anyway to hopefully get your brain seeing things here. So notice how all of this is being multiplied by 2. Well, when we were here, this is the same thing was multiplied by 2. We divided both sides by 2 here. So we can do that divide by 2 early. So what I can do is I can divide all of this by 2 and all of this by 2. Now, 2 divided by 2 would basically be 1, right? So it would be 1 there. So these guys are going to cross out and make it be a big 1. So I'm left with this x plus 4. And then I've got a 16 divided by 2 is going to be 8. It's a much simpler problem, but it's the exact same problem. So I'm going to divide or subtract by 4 here, subtract 4 here. This is going to be gone. X would equal 8 to minus 4 is 4. Both cases I got 4, but we still need to check to make sure we're right. Let's go this route first. So first I'm going to write this again, but with the x in there. So 2 times 4 plus 4 equals 16. Well, in the parentheses first, that would be 2 times 8. So 2 times 8 equals 16. Look at that. 16 equals 16. That checks. This one over here, I'm going to put my 4 in. Actually, it's the same problem again, isn't it? So it works. All right, letter C. Describe a general method for solving equations using what you know about equality.
Well, this part is a little bit tricky, but what we do need to make sure we're aware of is that you want to do things in an equal manner. If I take away something from one side, I have to take away something from the other side. If I'm going to divide by something on one side, I have to divide by something on the other side. And you're going to find out as we progress through this, you're going to need to add things to both sides sometimes, and you're going to need to multiply things on both sides sometimes. So either way, it doesn't matter which one you do first, but you have to be equitable and fair with the doing things on both sides process. That's really the big takeaway.
All right, guys, let's talk about our ACE work. So we're going to be working on 9 through 16 for this assignment here. Number 9 right away, look what it says. For each equation, sketch a picture using pouches and coins. So they do want you to draw that to make sure you get it. Then determine how many coins are in each pouch. So hopefully that will help draw the pictures ahead of time, then solve and find the answers. But be sure you check your answers. That will help you quite a bit. All right. So number 10 of 11, you have some word problem situations here. You have Gilberto's grandfather gives him $5 for his birthday, then 50 cents for each math question he answers correctly on his math exams for a year. Okay, so it sounds like another equation, kind of like our walkathon pledges. So you're going to write an equation, explain what the variables mean, use the equation to find the number of correct answers Gilberto needs to buy a shirt that costs $25, show your work, and then Gilberto answers all 12 problems correctly on his first math exam. How much money is he assured? So remember, here's the $25 he needs to get, and then here's 12 questions right. So you're solving all of those. Number 11, for part A and B, find the mystery number and explain your reasoning. Okay, here it is. If you add 15 to 3 times the mystery number, sounds like a pouch there, doesn't it? You get 78. That's going to be an equal sign. Okay, what is the mystery number? If you subtract 27 from 5 times the number, hey, 5 is going to be that, like the pouch there, you get 83, equal sign. What's the mystery number? And then you're going to make up your own clue for a riddle whose mystery number is 9. Okay, 12. Solving these guys, check your answers. 13, multiple choice for that equation. 14, solve the equation, check your answers. A lot of this stuff here. And 15, make sure something is going to be equal to this. Is it always going to equal this, sometimes equal this, or never equal this? You work your way through and see what you think, okay? And then 16, it says here, for each equation in group 1, find a matching equation in group 2 that has the same solution. Write down any strategies you would use. So basically you're doing this work over here, but finding answers. Now some of them are the actual answer, but some of the steps are in process, so you're going to match those up.